Good evening, Laker Nation. Buckle up, because the off-season in Los Angeles just got real. After a disappointing playoff exit and a failed blockbuster trade, the Lakers find themselves at a critical turning point. Tonight, we dive deep into what happened, why it matters, and what comes next for a team determined to rise again. This is more than a basketball update. This is the story of a franchise on the edge of transformation, and the heartbreak, hope, and hustle behind it all. The dreams of purple and gold flew high just weeks ago. The buzz was electric. The hope was real. A trade was brewing. One that would send shockwaves through the league and, finally, give Luka Doncic the frontcourt partner he had been desperately asking for. Mark Williams. 7 feet of athleticism. A rim runner with soft hands, a shot blocker with vision. For Luka, he wasn't just a trade target, he was the trade target. Sources close to the team said Doncic had made it crystal clear, Mark Williams was his guy. In private conversations with Lakers management, the message was firm. If they were going to build around him, they had to start there. Luka saw alley-oops, defensive stops, a future. Williams was supposed to be his Lob City co-star, the big man to clean the glass and anchor the paint. And for a moment, it looked like it was all happening. The proposed trade was aggressive. The Lakers were ready to send Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, a 2031 first-round pick, and a 2030 pick swap to the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for the big man. It was risky. It was bold. It was classic Lakers. And internally, they believed it could be the move to reshape their future. But then, like a buzzer beater rolling off the rim, it all fell apart. Williams failed his physical. The red flags were too big to ignore. He played just 44 games this past season, with lingering back and foot issues casting a dark shadow over his long-term durability. Lakers doctors weren't convinced. And despite the emotional investment and Luka's open disappointment, Rob Pelinka pulled the plug. It wasn't just a trade falling through. It was the unraveling of a vision. A setback that sent tremors through the organization. And Luka? He was crushed. Sources say his reaction was more than frustration, it was disillusionment. This was his guy, and suddenly, the front office was back at square one. The chemistry, the planning, the build, everything now had to be rethought. It wasn't just about losing Williams. It was about losing time. Meanwhile, across the country, Mark Williams took to social media. Cryptic posts. No names. No emojis. Just a tone, one that seemed almost relieved. Though it was never confirmed, many read between the lines. Maybe Williams didn't want Charlotte either. Maybe he was glad the deal fell through. Or maybe, like all of us, he was just stunned by how fast the NBA can change your fate. Back in LA, the fallout continued. The Lakers were eliminated in just 5 games by the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that exposed every flaw the Lakers had been trying to hide all season. Size. Depth. Toughness. Paint protection. It was all laid bare on the playoff stage. Anthony Davis, despite battling through injury, put up solid numbers, 23.2 points, 12.7 rebounds, 2.6 blocks per game in the series, but the help never came. And Luka Doncic? He did everything he could. Averaging 29.5 points, 9.1 assists, and 8.4 rebounds, he poured his heart into every game. But it wasn't enough. Because basketball is a team sport. And in the most critical game of the season, Game 5, JJ Redick made a bold decision. Jackson Hayes, once a starter, once seen as a possible anchor down low, didn't play a single minute. The trust was gone. The rotation tightened. And with the game on the line, Redick relied on just 5 players. 5. In a must-win playoff game. That's not just strategy. That's desperation. So now what? Rob Pelinka isn't sitting still. He's made one thing clear, a reliable center is the top priority this summer. There are names out there. Big names. Game changers. Clint Capella, known for his rebounding and rim protection, is a top target. He averaged 11.4 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks this season with Atlanta. And while his price tag was once sky-high, sources suggest he could now be had at a more reasonable number. The Lakers are watching. Then there's Brook Lopez, the veteran sharpshooter and shot blocker, who quietly put up 12.5 points and 2.4 blocks per game in Milwaukee. Steven Adams, if healthy, brings the toughness LA sorely missed. And don't forget Mo Wagner, a former Laker who's grown into a crafty, high-energy contributor in Orlando. He averaged 10.8 points and 4.3 rebounds in just 18 minutes per game this season. Efficient. Reliable. Hungry. But as always, timing is everything. Many of these players may re-sign with their current teams. Others may demand more than the Lakers can offer. Yet the Lakers still have valuable assets. Dalton Knecht, despite being in the trade talks, is still in LA and remains one of the most promising young shooters in the league. He averaged 13.9 points and shot 38.7% from three in limited minutes this year. That's gold for a team in need of spacing. Add in multiple future first-round picks, and the Lakers have flexibility. They can swing big again. The question is, who's available? And who wants to play under the bright lights of Crypto.com Arena? JJ Redick, in his first year as head coach, had moments of brilliance, and others of inexperience. His short playoff rotation raised eyebrows. But internally, the team still believes in his vision. What he needs now is depth. Reliable options. Guys he can trust in crunch time. Because when you only trust 5 players in a playoff game, that's not a roster. That's a warning sign. And through it all, Luka remains the center of it all. Still just 26, still one of the game's brightest stars. His season averages of 32.1 points, 9.8 assists, and 8.7 rebounds made him a top MVP candidate, and a reason for Lakers fans to believe. He wants to win. Now. The front office hears him. Loud and clear. As we speak, scouts are evaluating trade possibilities, free agent scenarios, and even draft night surprises. No option is off the table. And if there's one thing Laker history teaches us, it's this: when they swing big. The failure of the Mark Williams trade? Painful. But not permanent. The playoff loss to Minnesota? Embarrassing. But not defining. Because the offseason is just beginning. And the Lakers are built on legacy. Kobe. Magic. Kareem. Shaq. LeBron. Champions rise not when it's easy, but when it's hard. And make no mistake, this is one of those moments. The fans are watching. The league is watching. And so is Luka Doncic. Will the Lakers finally find the big man they've been chasing? Will they rebuild the depth that crumbled under pressure? Will they redeem the vision that slipped through their fingers? Stay tuned, Laker Nation. Because this summer could define the next decade. And we'll be right here, every step of the way. Here's a crucial insight for you: diving into financial education can significantly elevate your quality of life. In the realm of finance, take the time to explore bonds and stocks, with a special emphasis on real estate investment trusts, REITs. These investments have the potential to generate passive income. Approach this journey with diligence and opt for reputable investment brokerages globally. By doing so, you'll be laying a solid foundation for a more secure and prosperous future.